desired type, like I explained earlier. If I look at the standard and whatever of the bird, you can see it's a muscle cock.
Okay.
And you know, this bird for me in the sky rolls very, very well, and he's consistent. You know what I mean? He can handle the roll, everything is fine. So this is desired for me, should be for anyone. A bird that's got a little bit more head, a bit more body, kill closed, back to the ASPN, whatever it's called in English.
Okay.
And then if I take a bird that also rolls very amazingly.
Okay, I have a question based on what you said.
Mm-hmm.
That bird, you said something. Let's say you're flying that bird in a cage, and then all of a sudden it started not kitting anymore.
Mm-hmm.
Like, what do you think causes that? For a bird to be proper all along, and then later on it never kits, or it never goes back to the cage.
It's like the same answer I gave you earlier. Is it a mold? Is his tens growing out? Is he sore? Did he bump when he didn't see when he bumped? You know what I mean? He made a mistake somewhere, now his head is a bit sore. And if it's none of the above, then put in your B team and see, or your C team and see if it ever comes right.
What would make you remove a bird from your kit?
There's two things. So like I just said, if a bird all of a sudden does get funny and I checked all the tick boxes and nothing suits, I'll take them out. Another thing is, if I breed, so let's for instance, this bird, I bred a son out of him. Now I'm started to fly the son, and the son performs better than he does.
Yes.
I'll take him out and replace him with his son.
Oh, got it.
And then in the same with in the stock. If I breed, the father isn't there, but I bred a son that's better. The father can either come back to the kid or must go, because you improved on the dad. Or same with hens. If you got bred a better hen than what a mother is, then you replace the daughter with the mother, take the mother out, fly again, or help someone out. That's basically it. So to come back to your type question, I want to hold now, and this one also, yes, type's okay, looks like a Birmingham. This is mostly what I've seen. The type is that a lot of guys fly. You know what I mean? A little bit smaller head compared to that. Body still feels more or less the same, but it is definitely. If I put them side by side in my hockey, you can see there's a difference. You know what I mean? This one's a little bit smaller in some aspects than I'd like, or what the standard said it should be. That's actually the right way of saying it.
Okay, so if I may ask, would you prefer flying smaller cocks to bigger cocks in your kit?
Doesn't matter, it's all about the roll.
Is it?
That bird rolls. Remember, I don't know what they look like when they're there. They all look the same to me then. But if I do have a little bit of a smaller cock.
Because I've heard people, their myths or whatever I would call them out there, where people say that you Birmingham Rollers need to be small. The smaller the better. If they're small, they will give you quality.
Either small, then big. You know what I mean? That's what it is. So, I mean, you can breed them massive. I mean, if I take, so, and you get some of your cocks and hens, if they sit in the stock cock for too long, they stool. So they become a little bit more chunky, bigger bird. It's going to take a few weeks to get that bird back into its style. But if you talk about type, all the birds must be to the standard. So yes, some of them might be bigger than other, but doesn't matter if they roll. But I'll never take a bird, smaller hen, breed them together, because then I keep breeding small ones. I'd rather try to improve on its type. Take a little bit of better looking bird and whatever, match them like you. I mean, for me to pair up birds take a whole weekend. It's not a one day thing. I sit with them, you know what I mean?
Nice.
Yeah, but yeah, there's obviously smaller, bigger. It's just.
I think with the Americans, that's where it comes from, where they'll tell you there's a masculine cock, and then there's a masculine hen and stuff like that. A masculine is for breeding, and then the smaller one is for flying. I think that's where it comes from.
And they believe in that, but I mean, you get the ideal size or ideal type, which is the standard, and then you get some birds that are either smaller than the standard or bigger than the standard. But you must work towards what the bird should look like. Doesn't matter if it rolls and it's amazing, cool. You can always try to breed the babies back to the standard what they should look like. Like, you know, that picture I showed you. Just breed them back to that. And eventually, if you can get all your birds to look like it, then what's the difference? I mean, small hens, bigger hens, they might roll the same, like I said to you earlier, but how long can that one do it for 10 minutes compared to the one that actually has a bit more like the standard setter should be? You know what I mean?
Okay.
Yeah, it's quite. It's,
Okay,
yeah.
so tell me, according to you, based on what you just said now, what would be your standard? Like, what is it that you look for in a bird? What is your standard? A bird is supposed to be, what attributes that needs to be in a bird for you to say, I'm using this bird to breed or this bird to fly?
Okay, so roll must be your number one priority.
Got it.
When it comes to Birmingham's. Well, any bird is a roll number one.
Yeah.
Hand in hand is the type like the photos I showed you.
Yes.
So they must. How can I say? The roll obviously number one. So you select them. How you're gonna breed them while they're flying. Then I will take them to that picture. I'll compare all of my birds to that picture I showed you.
Got it.
And then decide, do they match each other? Then I'll sit with one cock and I say against 3 possible hens and start matching them to each other. You know what I mean? To get, and then hopefully the babies are what you hoped for, if you know what I mean.
Got it.
Yeah. So there's type and roll is hand and number one most important.
Okay, still on that question. Is there difference between flying birds and breeding birds? By that I mean, let me expand my question a bit.
Okay, sorry. Yeah.
By that I mean, would you breed a bird that you've never seen in the air?
No,
You've never.
Never, ever.
So you're saying that you don't use that, because I know there's a system where people just select a bird from
On this pedigree.
They'll just select and be like, I know this bird comes from good stock. Because it comes from good stock, it's going to give me offsprings that are proper, because it has genes and blood that is proper.
But it's not guaranteed. It's not guaranteed. I mean, yes, he might have the pedigree, it might be the blood is there. Yes. But now, how do you know how it rolled? Is it a 2-second roll, perfect roll? Is it a 1-second switches? You don't know. It doesn't mean that baby will be exactly like the mother or father. Never.
Got it.
You know what I mean? You have to fly to see what the bird is in the sky to decide. Yes, because now this was that baby would have never. It rolls half a second, and it makes mistakes. You don't know that because it never was in the sky. Now you breed it. Now 3 years down the line, you're like, oh, damn it. So why is my bird not performing? Why are they doing this? That's yeah.
Oh, so I'll say you pick your best from the end.
And everybody should, buddy. You like I said to you earlier, if somebody says I'll help you with birds,
yes.
Then you say shop, which loft, that loft, okay, please fly there. Then you yourself select as the roll, yes. When they come down, you say, okay, that one with this, I want them. I'll take them home and go breed them. Because you know what they are, what they look like and how they roll. Done.
Got it. Do you have any questions? Okay, I think.
Just like our houses symbol. So I can't remember if this is not north facing. This is south, something facing. And you'll see Thomas lofts is also facing the open lofts is also facing the same direction.
Oh yes.
So the rain is not too bad. So you must know for your area what.
Oh, which direction?
Yeah. Have you seen ice that's done that?
Oh, I haven't seen that. Like it's.
I'll send you an article and Tommy sent me about it. Who sorted it?
Oh, I see that. Shucks.
I'll send you an article that you can read about what happens. It's basically expressing its color in the eye. Yeah, there's like bull eyes. It's got bull eyes here. Okay.
I see birds with orange eyes here. You like orange eyes birds?
And white.
Oh, and white.
Yeah. Orange, white. I don't like wild type, so the red eye.
Oh, got it.
And brown. Well, it's actually still the red eye, but we call it brown eyes. And then, so this side is normal.
Oh, got
and
it.
you get it with birds with, and then this side's a bull eye.
Huh? Oh, this side is bull eye.
And this side is a normal eye. So that happens with birds with white, especially white and red. If you breed a lot of bullets together, the chances for you to breed a bull-eye bird is
Oh yes, what you're telling me about, I think I once heard of it. Do you know of something called a spread gene? A split gene, I mean, not
Yeah.
spread, a split gene, where it was supposed to, the genes couldn't decide
Yes.
whether the bird needs to be orange eyes or bull eyes.
Yeah.
So it's split in two, and then this side it became, I don't know, maybe it's just a myth or something
yeah,
like that.
it's the bull-eye thing yet again. I'm talking.
Yes.
It's expressing its color in his eye as well. If you know what I mean, the actual color of the bird.
Oh,
But I don't know. I'm too dumb in that like to give you a direct answer. You know what I mean?
oh, got it.
Because I mean, have you ever seen mosaic birds? Where it's a red check and a blue check on the same bird.
Oh, a mosaic. Is
Mosaic,
it?
and that's a freak. No, you can't breed for that. It
Oh.
happens by accident.
Okay.
You can't take two mosaics.
No, come on, Nando, come on.
What?
It's an accident.
It's a freak of nature.
Ah, man, come on. Okay, I've seen.
That's the split that you talked about, where
Oh,
the genes
yes.
can't decide what the bird should be,
Oh,
where they fight.
oh, got it. There's an old in Brakpan in the West Rand called
East Rand.
East Rand, yeah, in the East Rand called George Small.
George Small, yeah, I've heard about him.
You've heard about him. He had a kid of 9 birds as a distance, and 4 of those birds were mosaics.
That's lucky, eh?
4 of them were mosaics.
Yeah,
You love the color, ne?
out of the same pair.
Dude, they're rare, my guy. Like, in the West Rand, dude, you probably find 1% or no one has them, dude.
My dad did it since 1983 and he's never bred one. In the family still we've never bred one. And it doesn't mean I'll go fetch a mosaic from you and put it in my birds. You won't breed a mosaic. It's not gonna happen. It's a freak. Later again I'll send you those bookies I told you about on that website.
Yes,
There's
yes.
a guy who wrote a 4-part thing on that. You can read all about mosaic. It's weird. It's not supposed to happen. You can't have blue and red on the same bird. It's weird.
It's like 3 colors.
So when you mix blue and red,
No, you
the
won't.
dominant one will
Red is dominant over blue.
red is dominant over blue.
Yes. And a hen can only give her colors to a son. So that's all. If you breed, if you take a blue barred cock with a red hen,
Yes.
and you breed a red baby, it's going to be a cock.
Oh, shucks. Really?
Yes, unless I'm not correct. Yeah, so the mom can only give her colors to her sons. A father can give his colors to his sons and daughters.
Okay, based on that, I've heard people say that the cock has more dominant genes, and then the hen doesn't have lawn. That's why people use cocks for starting a family. What's your take on that? Because they say, okay, what's your take on what I just asked you?
So
The cock has more dominant genes.
no,
Would you agree with that statement?
all genes have an order of dominance.
Okay,
so it doesn't
explain
mean
that.
So like we spoke about the color and the pattern.
Okay,
Okay, certain patterns are more dominant over others. Colors, red's dominant over blue,
yes,
and blue's dominant over brown. Brown is your last one.
yes.
Okay, same trait. Well, I don't know. Actually, that's how I understand it. It doesn't mean a cock has more dominant genes. How do you prove it? You know what I mean? Unless he might have, a hen might have more dominant genes over this cock, but not over that cock. It depends on how the genes.
Yeah, it's an individual thing, actually.
Yeah.
Yeah, because to support his statement, I once had a hen. That hen was long. It rolled like 9 seconds all the time. Didn't crash. He knew how to come out of his roll and stuff. And I'm talking about something totally different, SA distance. And all the time I pair him to short birds. He would produce birds that perform like the hen. All the time, perform like the mother. And everyone used to say that cocks have dominant genes. I would be confused. I was like, no.
It's not your experience.
Yeah, but you know what?
Exact.
For you to understand genes, you need to go study it and
Oh,
see.
yeah.
You know what I mean? A guy can say it, but why does he say it? Then he prove it. Is it a proven fact, or is it just in his birds, or is it just his cocks in his family is a more dominant over the hens? I try to do. Well, I'm busy with trying to understand the genetics of these things, and it's not a weekend course. Yeah, it's difficult.
Yeah, it's very confusing.
It gets very,
yeah.
very, very confusing.
Yeah.
Honestly, it gets. And especially, we just talk about color and pattern, and now you start to put modifiers with it. Talking dilute, recessive. It gets dilute. It gets crazy. It's confusing.
Yes. Okay, I cool then.
Let's go chow now.